Hey guys, welcome to the full body series. This is part 2 for intermediates. I already did a beginner one, go check it out if you like. And very soon I'm gonna release part 3, which is the more advanced version. Once this video gets too easy, move to that one. Let's begin. We're gonna start right away with our elephant walks. You're gonna have about a hip width distance in between your feet. So that's about 2 fists in between your feet, or around about that. And what you're gonna do is keep your back perfectly flat. You're gonna hinge forward. It's okay if you can't reach the ground, so just keep your back flat. Bend one knee, and then you're gonna switch directly to the other knee. Pause for a second, and switch. Sink that hip down, and switch. Keep it nice and slow at first, like this. And switch. And now we're gonna smooth it out and go faster, and switch, switch. Switch, lean forward, switch, switch. Breathing deeply, keep that going. These are your elephant walks. This is mimicking a nerve floss type of movement. So we're basically telling our hamstrings, hey, it's okay, we can stretch further. Keep breathing, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and stand up nice and tall. Shake those legs out, walk a little side to side. We're gonna move on to our horse squats. Basically, all you're gonna do is go super wide, toes pointed out. Martial artists, don't crucify me. This is for flexibility and mobility, not martial arts. Knees out as far as you can. Arms in front of you. You're gonna squat down till your hips are at knee level if you can, and then lift back up. We're gonna go for 15 if possible. And down, and 2. Good, breathing deeply. And 3. Dancers are very familiar with positions like this. 4. And lower, knees out, squeeze out. 5, breathing deeply. And lift, 6. And down. 7, keep that going, down. And 8, and down. That's 9, and here we go. Number 10, pause, hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lift up. Shake those legs out. Go ahead and bring your feet a little closer together so it's easier to stand. We're gonna do chest pulses. Thumbs out to the side, just like so, and you're gonna reach them as far back behind you till you feel a stretch in your chest and in your biceps. And we're gonna pulse, go like this, back and forth, pulse, 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 pulse. And we're gonna go for around 30 seconds or so. Keep that going. Breathing deeply in through the nose, out through the mouth. If you're having a hard time catching your breath, that's totally fine. The idea with this is to raise the temperature of our body. That's why it's called a warm-up, so that we have a much more productive stretching session later on in this video. 3, 2, 1, relax those arms. Roll those shoulders around a little bit. Try and stay as relaxed as possible. Now we're gonna move on to something called spine stretch. Go ahead and catch your breath, but you're gonna sit all the way down on the mat. In an ideal world, both of your knees would be totally straight with your toes in the air like this, with a flat back, not a rounded back like this. But we don't live in the ideal world, so you might have to bend your knees just like so, and have your hands in front like this. So pick whatever you can do. Bend your knees, straighten them, whatever. Here we go. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, nod the chin. Reach forward. Over the feet, not to the feet, over the feet. Inhale. Belly button to spine. Exhale. Straighten the spine all the way up. Grow tall. We're going for 5 reps. Here we go. Again, nod the chin. Rolling forward. Above the toes if you can. Inhale. Exhale, belly button to spine, unravel one bone at a time. Growing nice and tall. That's number 2. We got 3 more. Nod the chin. Rolling forward. Above those feet. And again, inhale. Belly button in. Exhale. Roll all the way up. We got 2 more reps. And again, continue the motion, fluidly going through it. You might be feeling this mostly in your hamstrings, but you also want to feel it in your spine as well. Rolling back up. Last rep, here we go. Inhale, nod the chin. Exhale, roll forward. reaching above the feet. Inhale, belly button to spine. Exhale, roll all the way up. Relax those arms. Lay back on your hands or your elbows if you'd like. Bend those knees a little bit. Shake them side to side. Whew. You should feel pretty warm already, but we're going to move into an active stretching segment where we're going to do all very similar stretches that we're going to do later in the video, but we're going to do active versions of them. So we're going to start in a lunging position, just like so. So go ahead and find your lunge. Push those hips forward all the way down. If your knee, like mine, is going past your ankle, go ahead and bring your foot a little further forward till your knee is above your ankle. Hands on top of your knee, lift up, sink the hips down. 30 seconds begins now. Breathing deeply. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Don't let your hips point out to the side like this. Try and keep them pointed forward. I like to keep my toes on the ground in the back leg. Keeps me honest. Breathing deeply. And go ahead and sink the hips back. Stay in this position though. Keep the heel where it is. Lean forward. Bring your hands to the ground. Find a hamstring stretch right here. Flex the quad if you have to. Push the heel into the ground. 30 seconds. Breathing deeply. This is very difficult if you truly are pushing your heel down. This is an active hamstring stretch, meaning you're forcing your hamstring to flex while it's in a very, very stretched position. It's very, very difficult to hold, but it's very good for mobility, very good for flexibility. Breathing deeply. Stay strong, almost there, and come out of that stretch. And now we're gonna go directly to the other side. Again, find your lunge, sink those hips down. What you're gonna do is bring your hands on top of your knee, just like so. Hold that stretch 30 seconds. Continue breathing. With every exhale, it's almost like you sink a little bit deeper into the stretch. Even if it's psychologically rather than actually, just let your hips sink down. Should feel intense, but not painful. Breathing deeply. And again, sink those hips back. Keep the heel anchored to the ground. Lean forward. Find your hamstring stretch. Drive your heel into the ground, holding and breathing. One side is usually more difficult than the other. For me, it is this side. Holding that stretch. 30 seconds. Breathing deeply. Doing a good job. Just hold that stretch, almost there. And come out of that stretch. Go ahead and bring yourself all the way up to a standing position. Shake those legs out. What's next is what's called a Cossack hold as you shake your legs out. All you're gonna do is go super, super wide with your feet. Super, super wide. And you might have to adjust this once you get down to the position, but what you're gonna do is bend one knee, keep the other straight, sink all the way down. You can either keep your toes down or point them up to the sky. I get a better stretch when I point them up, so that's what I'm gonna do. Hands on the ground, hold the stretch. Breathing deeply. If yours looks a little bit more like this, totally normal, totally fine. We're all at different phases in our journeys. The goal is 30 seconds, breathing deeply. Keep that breath flowing. And switch to the other side. All the way on over. Again, same thing. I like to point my toes up to the sky, but you can keep them down if you like. Hold that stretch. Breathing deeply. We're gonna add a little bit of challenge to this exercise in a moment once we're done with this side by switching back and forth. And you can actually use your hands along the ground. Here we go. Switch to the other side, walk your hands over, pause in that stretch, switch directly back. Bouncing back and forth with a slow and controlled motion. You're just tapping into that stretch a little bit and then moving to the other side. Tap into the stretch, move to the other side. Tap in, move to the other side. Tap. One more time on each side. Here we go. And there we go. Come back all the way down to a relaxing position. Oh, rock a little side to side. Hands out to the side. Thumbs up. We're gonna do our chest pulses yet again, but this time you're gonna breastbone up to the sky like so, and we're gonna go deep and slow. So out and back. 2, 3, 4, good. 5, chest up. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring those arms down, rock them out. We're gonna do that one more time, and then we're gonna move on to our static stretches. Here we go. Again, thumbs out, and 1, chest up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Relax those arms. We're gonna move on to our seal stretch, which is a more relaxing version of the Cobra. So go ahead, lay face down, just like so, all the way down. What you're going to do is push your breastbone up, but keep your hips on the mat. Now, once you're in this position, how you deepen it is you push your shoulders away from your ears and you look up to the sky. Hold for 30 seconds, breathing deeply. Grow taller and longer. Don't crunch down on your back. You're trying to lengthen your spine as you arch up. You're not trying to crunch down on your own back. You want to feel a deep stretch through your abdominals, the front side of your torso. It's not necessarily about your spine, although it is. It's about spinal extension. But how you train it is first you got to stretch your abs. And go ahead and sink those hips all the way back to the heels. Stretch those arms forward. We're gonna relax here for just a second. Take a couple deep breaths. All right, go ahead and sit down. We're gonna move on to a pancake style stretch, a pancake side stretch. So, legs are nice and wide. You're gonna try and grow as tall as you possibly can, and you're gonna pick one leg to start with first. I'm gonna start with my left leg because I'd like that. Once you're in that position, open your torso a little bit towards the front, and you're just gonna pause and hold for 30 seconds. If you're more advanced, you might be able to grab your toe and open your torso a little bit. But if not, just reach toward whatever side you're at, trying to open up your torso to the front a little bit, just like this. Breathing deeply. We've now officially entered into our static stretching. This is what we've been trying to prepare our body for this whole time. Remember at the beginning where our heart rate was a little faster, we were getting warm? This is what we were warming up for. And sink to the other side. We've basically spent 10 minutes or so telling our body, hey, it's safe to stretch a little bit further. And now we get to stretch a little bit further to train it. The more time that we spend in these far end ranges, the more your body is going to let you go to these ranges and then eventually expand them. It just takes time, takes effort, takes a little bit of energy. All right, switch back over to the first side. That's another thing that bodybuilding gets right, is they stretch in sets, or I guess they work out in sets. So if you're new to how I do things, we do it in sets. That's how we get more volume, more time under tension. Breathing deeply. All right, switch over to the other side again, 30 seconds. Breathing deeply. Keep that torso opening to the front if you can. Almost there, breathing deeply. And come out of that stretch. Go ahead and sink yourself back, just like so. Shake those legs out, bring them forward. We're gonna do our regular pancake now, where we just push ourselves forward, and that's gonna give us one more set in both sides, but this time it's in the middle. So again, widen those legs out, push yourself forward, reach as far forward as you can, breathing deeply. Hold for 30 seconds. The deeper you can go, like maybe even chest to floor, the more advanced the stretch is. Breathing deeply, just focusing on relaxing. With every exhale, try and relax those legs even further. If you want to challenge yourself, you could do the opposite by flexing these quads right here and sinking deeper. But try to relax. Relax, relax, relax. Relaxing is the name of the game. All right, sink back out of that stretch. Bend those legs. Bend them just a little bit. We're gonna do that one more time, and then we're done with the pancake, and we're gonna move on. All right, here we go. Reaching forward, sinking into that stretch. Again, hold for 30 seconds. I like to shift ever so slightly, side to side. Breathing deeply, trying to stay relaxed. All right, come out of that stretch. Shake those legs out, and we're gonna move on to our Cobra, which is very similar to our seal stretch that we did earlier, but this time we're gonna have our toes planted on the ground, and we're gonna keep the hips up off the ground if you can. So push the torso up, lift the hips off of the ground, look up to the sky, push those shoulders down away from the ears, 30 seconds, hold. Again, we're growing tall and long. We're not necessarily crunching down on our back to get a bigger stretch. What we're doing is we're going out and up and tall. Breathe in whatever way you can. I like to go in through the nose and out through the mouth, but not everybody can do that. And bring those hips back. All the way, sit back. Pause for a second. We're gonna do that one more time. And again, bring it back forward. Same thing. Lift the chest high, shoulders down, hips up. Hold. Breathing deeply. Feel that stretch. 30 seconds. And come out of that stretch. Again, sit back towards the heels. Bring those hands forward. Rock a little side to side. We have one more stretch left, and then we're done. All right, go ahead and sit down. Bring those legs in front of you. We're gonna end off with our pike, which is more of a spine stretch than it is a hamstring stretch, but your hamstrings will stretch. So grab whatever you can. Instead of pulling yourself toward your toes, you're gonna pull yourself down towards your knees or your shins and hold for 30 seconds. Breathing deeply. You can either point your toes or keep your toes pointed up to the sky, whatever feels best for you. The goal is to stretch your spine. If you're not quite feeling that, pull your belly button in towards your spine. And relax back for a second. Just round and stretch your back for a little bit. We got one more set and then we're completely done. Go ahead and bring yourself forward. Again, hold 30 seconds. Breathing deeply. And come out of that stretch. Go ahead and stand all the way up if you can. Oh, we're gonna end off with a nice deep breath. Here we go. Inhale, reach all the way up, palms forward. Exhale, bring those hands all the way down. Notice how you feel. Shake those legs out. A little bit of a faster pace this one. All right, guys, if you wanna read along with my newsletter, it's gonna be in the description. Check it out. Stay flexy.